Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. This weekend we have a bunch of projects to do. We've got a Aquasana water system to put in on our sink in the kitchen and also on the refrigerator. We've got a new timing pointer for the Nova motor, and of course we've got the firewall that we have to deal with. So those are some of the projects we're doing this weekend. We'll see how many we can get on film for you and go from there. So hang tight, let's get to it. Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. Today we're doing a little home improvement project. Everybody who has city water in any city pretty much knows that it's the most horrible tasting thing at times, I should say. So you want to put in a water purification system. Now most refrigerators come with one. Our new refrigerator came with one, and it tones it down a little bit. It's not as bad, but just depending upon the water quality that day, it can change from one extreme to the other. There are days where you smell the water and it just smells like metal, just because of the antiquated systems that are involved. So I was at the auction, or on an auction website, and I was bidding on two Aquasana water purifier systems, and I bid like 20-30 bucks for them, and ended up getting two of them, which is nice because now I can swap out not only my refrigerator, but also my sink. So I can have filtered water at the sink with a little faucet that it comes with, and I'll show you when I unbox it here in a minute. And also with the refrigerator, I can pipe in the filtration system down at the feed line. So we're going to start with that, but before we do that, let's go ahead and unbox this, and I'll show you everything that comes with this little Aquasana 2-filter setup. Anyway, back where we were. So it comes with, of course, your owner's manual. This is the 2-stage water system. They get really, really expensive with these, but I thought it was kind of, for the price, I couldn't really beat it. Comes with your filter wrench. Comes with, of course, 2 filters, your filter B, I guess it is, and filter A. The colors evidently have something to do with it. They're all set to go in. Put those over there. It comes with, of course, your mounting hardware. It has a battery in it. It's got the little tape to keep the battery from going dead while it's on the shelf. And then, of course, your mounting screws. Looks like she mounts like that. You've got a section of hose and a little attention. Thank you for your purchase for best performance. Ensure your systems are aligned as pictured when you install them. You've got fittings. It's a T-fitting to put into your water line. So you can tee off to this. So under the sink, you'll tee off and go right from, one will go up your regular fountain, and then the other one will go to your filter system. And then the last thing that comes with in this nice little package is your water faucet. For example, let me pull this out real quick, and then your gaskets and such. Like our sink has a third hole in it, as you'll see, and it's got a soap dispenser, which my wife has never used and probably, as she says, never will. So this will go in its place. Comes with little washers and fittings and all that kind of fun stuff, along with everything you need to put the hose on. Me personally, these will get changed out for metal hoses. I don't believe in these plastic hoses. I think you're just asking for a flood later. So if one of the upgrades I would suggest you make is get these in steel. But that's the entire kit. In the one in the refrigerator, of course, we won't be using this because we don't need to. It's just going to go straight to the refrigerator. So it'll be nice to have an extra one if I ever need it for any reason. So this can go right back into the bag. So that's it unboxed. It's not much to it. You've got your red and your yellows. These filters just pop right into the system. So all you do is pop them up and put them in. That's what your wrench is for. We're not going to be putting them in because we've got to mount this first. One of the things I did notice that it does not have, or I just don't see them, I'm looking, is the mounting screws. Yes, there are mounting screws too. Little teeny tiny ones. So we'll take all this, we'll throw it back into the box. We're going to go down into the basement and we're going to see what we need to do to put this system in. For now, we are going to use these plastic hoses until I order the metal ones, and we'll be replacing those quickly. So we'll read through the instruction manual. I would always suggest reading through your instruction manual so you know how to set this up, but it doesn't look like it's too tough. So hang tight, let's get down into the basement and let's get this thing going.
A few moments later.
So going through our manual, which you should always do, there are a few things that you need to take with you. So you're going to need your variable speed drill with a 7/32 bit. I'm going to use wood screws because it's all wood down there. An adjustable wrench, Phillips head screwdriver, a level of course, a pencil, I'll use a Sharpie, measuring tape, a bucket, a hammer, and safety glasses. So you will need all those things, or the majority of those things, before you go down there. But it goes through everything that you need to know to set it all up. And like I say, down in the basement it might be a little bit different because we've got our plumbing for our refrigerator, so we've got to run in that line, which makes it really easy because we don't have to get up underneath the counter like we will up on the kitchen sink. So this should go relatively quickly. So I am going to start gathering these tools together, put them in my tool bag, and we'll head down to the basement. Alrighty, so yeah, once again, the things that you'll need are your drill with a 7/32 bit, adjustable wrench, Phillips head screwdriver, level, pencil, measuring tape, bucket, hammer, and safety glasses. So the first thing we have to determine is where to mount the unit at. As you can see, this is all of our washer dryer hookups right in this area here. We've got our drain and all that kind of fun stuff, along with a water feed line and some other things. Our feed line for our refrigerator is right here, so we want to be relatively close to here, but away from the water or the outlet here. So we want to probably mount it right over in this area here, where it's nice and even. We'll just going to need a piece of wood to put right in here to mount the units on, and we'll shift them over to this side so that they're not directly behind the washing machine. We can shift the washing machine that way, but since we've already got it leveled and everything, we don't want to mess with it. So we'll put it over in this area here. So we'll have to run this feed line over and pipe into the filter system. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is go out to the garage and find a piece of wood. Looks like that's about 18 on center, give or take. This one's 12, but this one's 18. So I need to go find a piece of flat wood for this area here, and then we can mount that unit. So let me go grab a piece of wood, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got a nice thick piece of wood. I didn't want to go with something thinner, mainly because I want it to have a nice, heavy-duty place to sit. I am going to put it across the whole thing, so it's actually 16 on center. Wow, I'm impressed. So we're going to have to end up cutting it at 17 and a half. I think I've got it laid out for the wood laid out for 18, so we'll go ahead and cut that. All these shelves you see in here are this particular wood, so I get to use my new crafty battery operated skill saw. So I did mark this at 18, so all I gotta do is just take an extra half an inch off of it and I'll be good to go. So I had already marked this at 18, so all I gotta do is just shift over 1 inch, so it shouldn't be too tough. So the only other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make some holes to mount it. I do have some 2-inch wood screws that I brought with me from the garage. And that'll give us a place to mount it. I just need to go ahead and mark it. Using these 2-inch nails, which are going to go through here and well into that wood. I would use some shorter ones, but I don't have any shorter ones, so I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill those holes. And that way. Boom. So now we need to mount our unit. So we want our unit a little further over here away from the washing machine. Now remember, I moved the washing machine over about 6 inches. So we can go about right there with the unit and be in a good spot. So and again, she's going to mount right out the screw. You don't put it in there tight. You're going to tighten it when you get in there. But let's make sure that our other screw mark is lined up correctly, and it is. So we're good. One of the things we want to do in the very end is use your hand screwdriver, not the drill to tighten them up. To the system. We've got this compression fitting. We've got the same type of compression fitting on our water faucet here. So we're definitely going to have to make a few changes, block off one of these, or just go get one that's going to actually fit on that unit. Now, it being a live faucet, I'm going to have to shut down the water, so I'm going to have to go grab my top because I do not see the handle that I keep down here anywhere handy. So do have to use these plastic lines because they lock into the unit. So that's definitely it. So again, they're marked underneath yellow, red and yellow. So to put them in, stay. Yep, I'm grab my wrench. You come with the filter wrench, and I will probably put another screw in here somewhere so you can hang this right on here. That way we don't have to mess with it. I remember it was saying you had to install them a specific way, so let's go grab that little instruction sheet. It's also marked in and out, so this is your inside over here. And they are push lock fittings, so when you shove it in there and it's locked. So what we're going to have to do is splice this one into this line and then come out. So basically we're going to need a fitting on the end of this to go here, which it's made to do. That's what we've got this U fitting for. And then the other one's going to feed. We'll pull this out, put a fitting on the end of this, it'll tap into that, and then we'll come out and it'll go right into the, we'll use a T fitting and we'll go right into the other one. The small collar that goes on your hose, that and the little insert. The insert just keeps it from, the little insert just keeps the hose from collapsing, and then that seals it against your nut. So first things first, let's see if this is the right size nut. It is. We are in business. And look at that. It sure is. So the first thing you're going to do is put your nut through. I am going to leave this loop in it just because. And then I'm going to put on the insert. Slide on the insert. And then slide in the little collar. So you got the nut first, then the insert, or I'm sorry, then the collar, and then the insert. So it all plugs right into here. And you tighten it up. Again, I want this back over here. You know what I can probably do is bring it around. That way it's not sticking out in front of everybody. Like that, push it up against it all the way so that makes sure you're all the way on there. Otherwise you're going to end up with possible leaking. You don't want that. Now we tighten her up. You don't have to go crazy. This is a compression fitting, so it will lock itself in. Let's pull the line out. And we want to tie this line back. We'll get the opportunity to. But we do need that collar. Again, slide your collar on, and your insert. And like I said, this insert just keeps it from flattening out. And there you go. Let's make sure we get everything lined up right. Just like so. And turn it till it locks. Still loose though, I don't like that. Let's turn the pressure on and see what happens. And you got to make sure you got more than an inch into there. I'm going to hear them filling. And I hear my water stop. Yep, we're all good. So that is a defective cartridge. That little bulge is what's causing it. So we'll send to Aquasana to get another one. We cannot install the system until that's on there. So let's go ahead and open the water all the way up. Good there. And as I said, we're going to mount this right here so that we know where it's at. So we'll put a screw here for this to hang on. Let me see if I've got a screw, and I can do that. Yes, it will. So let's put this screw into the filter handle. And we put our handle there. And we are done. We can't do the kitchen one, so we're not going to be able to do the kitchen one until we get this filter replaced by Aquasana, because this is definitely an issue. Would imagine it could easily be sealed up, but you don't want to seal this up because it will cause problems later on. But yeah, if you look at when you put the housing on, it's got an O-ring and everything on it to seal it. So clearly, something happened in manufacturing. I don't see any flaws here. It feels smooth. And same with there's a little bit of a nick right there. Wonder if that's what it is. Other than that, the O-ring's all good. Everything else is fine. So we'll just send to Aquasana and say, hey, you need to replace this cartridge housing because it's leaking. Yes, even when it closes, something doesn't feel right. So that's all we're going to be doing today with this. At least we've got it set up on our refrigerator, so we do have filtered water now. Not only are there filters here, but there are also filters upstairs. The only other thing we have to do is we're going to have to run about a gallon of water through this system to clear it out and get all the garbage out. But yeah, everything else is sealed. Nothing is leaking, so we are good to go. Like I said, I'm going to come back later on. I'll probably zip tie or something of that nature. This hose, I don't like it hanging out like that. Maybe later I'll back up and bring it down inside here, or bring it down inside here. But over on this other wall, we've got an outlet, so we really don't want to mess with that. But that'll take care of the end of this video. I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch me drain a gallon of water out of the system, but that's kind of how it works. So with that, please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions about it, definitely let me know, and I'll let you know later on in a short what they say about this filter, because it's definitely an issue. You know, one of the reasons for buying this is how much we spend on bottled water. We spend a ton of money on bottled water, and if one of these systems will take that place, and I'll let you know. So there have been times where I've went to make coffee, and I'll fill my coffee pot up, and the water in it just stinks to high heaven. And you'll post on the city page, and they're like, yeah, sometimes it does that. It's like, I mean, sometimes it does that. I grew up with well water, and it was actually really sweet well water, so I'm kind of spoiled. But my wife is from Southern California, so she's lived her life on bottled water. Anybody who lives in California knows you don't drink that water. It's horrible. But that's pretty much almost everywhere on city water nowadays. So if you can put in one of these filtration systems, you're going to save the money that you use doing it over the long run, because even if you bought the cheapest bottled water, let's say, and what is it, $1 a gallon, let's say, or 50 cents a gallon, and you're filling up, you're drinking, I think we were drinking 15 gallons a week, somewhere in that area, anywhere from 5 to 50, just depending upon winter, summer, and that kind of thing. So you definitely want to buy one of these systems to save yourself a ton of money. And with what I paid for these, hey, all day long. And like I said, this is only the 2 filter system. They have them up to 3, and they have them in different ranges. Like these are short filters, and these short filters are good for like the refrigerator, because you're not using that water all the time. Under the sink, because you're not using that water all the time. But if you're using it on a whole system, you're going to want that big unit, because you're going to need it. We are going to add, the two of them. We're going to see how it works, and I'll let you know if it makes the water taste better.